Football is brutal. Every play carries the risk of a career-changing injury, and some moments are so shocking that fans and players can't forget them. In this video, we'll look at some of the most painful NFL injuries ever, from compound fractures to spinal trauma. Warning, these stories aren't for the faint of heart. Nick Chubb, catastrophic knee injury. In 2023, Browns star Nick Chubb took a hit near the goal line that bent his left knee at a grotesque angle. ESPN refused to replay it on air. Chubb had already survived a similar injury in college, making this one even more devastating. Multiple torn ligaments, a complex surgery, and an uncertain future followed. But if anyone has proven he can come back, it's Chubb, a player defined by resilience as much as power. Bo Jackson, hip dislocation. In a 1991 playoff game, Raiders RB Bo Jackson, one of the greatest athletes ever, suffered what seemed like a minor hip injury, but the damage caused bone death in his hip joint, ending his NFL career. Jackson returned to play MLB with an artificial hip, even hitting home runs. But the NFL lost a once-in-a-generation star overnight. Fans still wonder what could have been. Dak Prescott, compound ankle fracture. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott scrambled against the Giants in 2020 when his ankle snapped at a 90-degree angle. As he was carted off in tears, the stadium fell silent. The injury was devastating, especially since Dak was playing on a one-year franchise tag, but he returned stronger, proving his leadership and cementing his place as one of the NFL's toughest competitors. Joe Theismann, compound leg fracture. On Monday Night Football in 1985, Washington quarterback Joe Theismann ran a trick play when Lawrence Taylor came crashing in from the blind side. The sack snapped both bones in his leg and one pierced through the skin. The broadcast refused to replay it. Theismann later recalled looking down and seeing his foot pointing the wrong way. Just like that, a Super Bowl-winning career ended instantly, a haunting reminder of how fast the game can take everything. Ryan Shazier, spinal contusion. In 2017, Steelers linebacker Ryan Shazier lowered his head for a tackle and immediately dropped to the turf, unable to move his legs. He had suffered a spinal contusion, and doctors warned he might never walk again. Shazier refused to give in. Within 2 years, he stood at his wedding and danced. His career was gone, but his story became one of football's most powerful examples of resilience and determination. Aiden Hutchinson, shin leg injury. Detroit Lions defensive star Aiden Hutchinson left fans holding their breath when he suffered a painful lower leg injury. Though not as catastrophic as others on this list, it was a terrifying moment for one of the NFL's brightest young pass rushers. Hutchinson's impact on the Lions' defense is undeniable, and his quick recovery showed both his toughness and importance to Detroit's resurgence. Alex Smith, compound fracture and infection. Over 30 years later, Washington fans saw history repeat itself. In 2018, quarterback Alex Smith was sacked and suffered a gruesome compound fracture. But the break was only the beginning. A post-surgery infection nearly cost him his leg and his life. 17 surgeries, skin grafts, and 2 years later, Smith defied all odds by returning to the field and winning Comeback Player of the Year. His story is one of the most inspiring recoveries in sports history. Damar Hamlin, cardiac arrest. On January 2, 2023, Bills safety Damar Hamlin made a tackle, stood up, then collapsed lifeless on the turf. Trainers rushed in, performing CPR and using a defibrillator to restart his heart as players sobbed and prayed. The game was suspended. Against all odds, Hamlin survived and eventually returned to football. His collapse wasn't just an injury. It was a life-or-death moment that shook the entire sports world. Sterling Sharpe, career-ending neck injury. In 1994, Packers receiver Sterling Sharpe was at the peak of his career, leading the league in receptions and touchdowns. But late that season, he suffered a severe neck injury that compressed his spinal cord. Doctors warned that one more hit could leave him paralyzed. At just 29 years old, Sharpe was forced into immediate retirement. His career ended with 5 Pro Bowls and numbers that projected to Hall of Fame greatness. For Green Bay fans, it was heartbreaking to watch such a dominant weapon silenced in his prime, proving how fragile even elite talent can be. Michael Irvin, spinal cord injury. In 1999, Cowboys legend Michael Irvin caught a short pass against the Eagles when he was tackled headfirst into the turf. He lay motionless as teammates rushed to his side, Philadelphia fans notoriously cheered, and an eerie silence followed. Diagnosed with a spinal cord injury, Irvin was told his career was over immediately. Known as the Playmaker, he finished with 3 Super Bowls, 5 Pro Bowls, and a spot in Canton. The image of him being carted off the field in Philly remains one of the most unsettling moments in NFL history, marking the end of a Hall of Fame career. Which of these injuries stood out the most to you? Was it the shocking leg breaks, the spinal injuries, or something else entirely? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next deep dive into the game we all